friends, and she had just been diagnosed with cancer. And my angels came to me. At the time, I didn't know they were my angels, but I started hearing voices and hearing this music that I couldn't pinpoint. So instead of embracing it, I, talked to my parents and said, I'm hearing music, I'm hearing voices. Now, don't get me wrong, there was nothing nefarious, but I did what everybody else does, or what I thought I was expected to do, which was go to a doctor, tell them I'm hearing voices, and get put on a cocktail of drugs, right? Only now do I realize that, looking back on it, my angels were there to let me know, hey, you are not alone. You have this support. Because what I didn't realize was my mom wasn't going to make it. She was going to transition and go to the other side. And I was going to feel this huge sense of loss and abandonment. And looking back on it, I know my angels were still there, but gosh, if I had the ability I have now to communicate with them, it would have really helped. So I wish I could say, oh, I've always seen full-bodied apparitions and angels. No, it wasn't like that. When they came to me, it wasn't exactly that I knew they were the angels. I just thought I'm going crazy. So after really starting to go, I don't want to be on, 13 different medications. Let me see what else is out there. And so I was really kind of divinely guided to explore spirituality more, the angels. I was already tapping into the metaphysical aspect of everything. And it really led me on this journey where I wanted to communicate with my mom more, wanted to learn how to do that, and communicate with my angels. And what started off as very intense, closing my eyes and going, oh my gosh, I think I see this. Is that true? Now it's more of a rapport with the angels where I can communicate with my mom. I see the angels, I sense them, hear them, feel them, know them. And it's really a beautiful exchange now. And there's a part of me that says, man, I wish I hadn't gone to the doctors and started saying all that. But I got to tell you, it's allowed me to help so many more people who have had similar experiences and be able to say, no, you're not crazy.
Right.
And there is, a light at the end of the tunnel, and there is something else working on your behalf that's greater than you.
I think that's a good point. I think it's true. It's like you begin to realize that everyone is starting to kind of go through these veils and start to see things that they weren't aware of. And for some people, that can liberate them. For others, it can create a lot of challenge if they don't have the right answers. They don't know how to plug in and really understand what their destiny line is. What are some of the things? Give us a few fun stories. I mean, I know we've gone through and done probably over 100 of different stories. What are some of the fun little things that you remember throughout your career of things that ended up becoming true for people that were kind of surprising, shocking, just outlandish, where somebody, you see a vision up, they're going to receive a certain amount of money, and then boom, all of a sudden it appears, or things like that.
We just said this the other day where I was like, you cannot make this up, right? I mean, it's just, there are too many wild things, too many crazy things. There's one of the girls who I adore. And so she's always on my mind because my daughters just adore her and she's an influencer. But she had come to me and asked for a reading and wanted to ask about, just life in general. So when I started off the reading, it was so interesting because her name is similar to a singer who I grew up listening to. And so when I got her name, Winona, I was like, no, the music you're hearing is because of that other singer. And in fact, whenever we went in, Mother Mary presented pulling back the curtain, her going out on stage. And I was like, you're going on stage and singing and music, it's all part of you. Does this make sense? And she was like, oh my gosh, yes. And we talked about the timeline of when things would really start to pick up for her. Now, I'll tell y'all, I don't normally recall my readings. They're not my thoughts. And it's only because she and I still communicate and talk that she reminded me of this. She said, Kourtney, you said that in June, July, things were really going to start picking up. And I was like, oh, really? that came through. And she said, sure enough,
Hmm.
the opportunities and the offerings to sing at different stadiums, to sing in front of, the Savannah Bananas baseball team, if you know them, to sing at, NASCAR. I think we can announce that. We're going to go watch her sing in Las Vegas next month in NASCAR. And so all of these things that were just kind of popping through whenever we did her reading, she's like, oh my gosh, you said that was going to happen. Guess what just happened? And it's
Wow.
beautiful to see. It's so
Wow. And you've had people, relationships pop in, money pop in, career opportunities pop in. What are some other stories?
Oh, so this one woman, she was on your show, Darius, and I
Hmm.
told her, I said, you've got some pretty substantial stack of cash that you're sitting on, kind of like we see on those commercials where they're sitting on stacks of money. And she
Okay.
was like, Kourtney, it's not there. It's not there. I don't know. I've looked everywhere. And I was like, this isn't just $500, or $10 you're going to find in your jeans, money in the dryer.
Yeah.
This is substantially a large amount of money. And she called me back later and she said, you're not going to believe this. I didn't recognize or didn't realize at the time she was worried about leaving her job. She said, I had forgotten that I had paid into all this retirement. And she said, and it wasn't until afterward that I went, oh, holy cow, I have like 70 or 80K
Mm.
that's, at my disposal. And she went, Kourtney told me that. Yes.
Wow.
And, I did a reading on a guy and he said, so do I have any money coming up in my future? And I remember tuning into it. And sometimes it can be very difficult whenever you see numbers to make out the decimal places, and zeros sometimes come up. And I said, this feels like it's about 20,000. I'm seeing the 2, the 0, can't see all the other zeros. And sure enough, the next day, now he knew it. He knew he had this check coming. But of course, I didn't know it. And so for me to go out on a limb like that and go, I'm seeing this money, that was beautiful. Oh, how was this? So a client of mine was asking about her house selling. And I don't know if y'all ever watched the real estate market, but it's been a little tough for a seller here lately. And I said, okay, so I see this happening this month, and then y'all are going to move into his house. And, and we went there, and she was like, that's just so fascinating how you can see all this. And sure enough, she said, do you remember that you told me the 19th? And I said, no, but okay. And she said, well, we got the call on the 18th and the contract was signed on the 19th.
Oh
So
my God.
those kinds of things, I'm always like, oh, yeah, you cannot do that, right? Just really, really cool stuff. People's
Wow.
friends who are coming into their lives, different job opportunities, things about their boss. Yeah, it's fun.
The big question that always presents itself is, how do the angels know? How do they kind of know that something is a potentiality or something is going to happen? Or maybe you have kind of like this golden opportunity. How do you describe that? How do they know?
So when you think about it, so from God, source, creator, spirit, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
He looks at us and goes, you are absolutely amazing and perfect. What else could you possibly want, right? But
Right.
we as humans go, no, I don't know if that guy's going to like me, or how am I going to pay the mortgage, or is this job the one for me? And so he sends his angels, who are messengers,
Hmm.
down to help guide us. And remember, they can only intervene if it's either a near-death experience and it's not our time to go.
Okay.
Ask them for that help. So they see things from such a higher vantage point. They get to see, the time really isn't linear. Now, my logical mind has a hard time computing that, but they get to see all the different opportunities. What can happen if we say yes at this nexus point, if you want to say it like that, or what happens if we say no?
Hmm.
What is our destiny? What are those life lessons, our soul contracts? And so as I'm communicating with the angels and asking them these questions, they're able to show me, whether I see it visually or I sense it or I feel it, or it's a knowing that drops in. They're able to show me, hey, there's an opportunity coming up. And if this person makes this decision, here's what it can look like. because after all, they've been given this authority by
Mm,
God to come and help us with our lives so that
wow.
we have that help and assistance going through life.
Yeah, it sounds like everybody has like a good potential future, but it's like removing that debris or that removing that big boulder that's in the way.
Right. And so if y'all had kids or if you've had siblings, maybe there's somebody in your family who the adults say, yep, they just have to learn it the hard way. No matter
Right.
what, they're always going to learn it the hard way, right? And so when you think about, we could all take that path where it's, gosh dang it, we're going to learn it, but we have to beat our head against a brick wall to learn it, or we have to learn things the hard way. Or we can say, you know what, I don't need to learn it the hard way. I'll take the lesson, show me where I need to change, and be able to see it as it comes through that way, where our angels can say, yeah, this is still going to get you from point A to point B, but it doesn't have to be so dang hard or so dang
Right.
tough. You'll still learn it. So yeah, we've got that kind of those alternate paths we can do.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I lived this with you, so I know. And what was interesting talking about pals is they showed us the alternative path. You drew it out from your hand, divinely moving through their vision of what it would look like, and it wasn't something I wanted. And so I think it's so key. You're going to talk today a little bit about some of the energy blocks, some of the unseen energy, the baggage, the generation or the generational or the collective debris that can hold us back. I mean, tell me about this. Why is it important to kind of be aware of what's holding you back as a first step, maybe to really moving forward and finding those good timelines or pathways?
So I had a client who was desperately trying to succeed, and we know that desperation can sometimes block that flow, right?
Exactly.
Got it. If you see someone who is desperate for attention or desperate for romance, it can kind of turn you off. So she was doing everything right. If you looked at the list and wrote it all out, she was checking all the boxes. She was doing everything right for her business to succeed, for her to
Mm,
be successful, for her to do well. So when she came to me and we started tuning into this and peeling back some things, I said, oh, I'm seeing another lifetime where you were actually enslaved. And
mm,
when that happens, if you can imagine, you're just trying not to get in trouble, right? You don't want to be seen. You don't want to be heard. Well, from that lifetime, she had carried that lesson of not wanting to be seen into this lifetime. So when we found that that was what was blocking her, and we were able to change that and somewhat course correct,
mm.
remove that belief, put in a new one, and seal that up and put that into play. I kid you not, Darius, in an hour and a half, she got the phone call asking to be publicized in Times Square
Whoa.
and to be seen
Oh
and
my God.
yeah, and for her business to be up there and calling her in to speak. It was huge. It was profound. So
Wow.
it was like that opportunity was just waiting right on the other side of the door for her to clear that. And then it presented her with all of these opportunities. So in a way, it was almost like there was a part of her soul coming to her going, we've got to get this cleared. And she
Hmm.
felt that nudge. She felt that urge. And she went, I really believe Kourtney can help me on this. And so we were able to work through it. And I mean, it made all the difference in the world.
So it sounds like, and this happened to me. So I'm going back to my story. It sounds like with a lot of clients, the first thing is, and this is for everyone, write this down, recognize the energetic blocks that you don't perhaps even know you have. Recognize what energy, what beliefs are there holding you back from that higher timeline or pathway that God, the angels, just the higher energies of the light want you to receive. You've got to recognize those because we all have them, right? We're here to evolve them. I want to talk about stuff. Sometimes stuff doesn't actually belong to us and we're holding on to that, right? Sometimes we've got what you call kind of like this these energy attacks or bad juju? What is that?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So perfect example, using myself. I worked in motorcycles. I would get so excited and I mean, be on cloud nine, super happy. Customer walks in and I'm like, hey, what are we looking for today? Let's get it.
Mm,
And within about 10 seconds, go from being the highest of highs to immediately being angry, mad. I mean, like angry. And I was
mm,
like, where is this coming from? And I just want to bite someone's head off. Talk about it not being yours. So behind this customer who's just walked in, excited about getting his 200-mile-an-hour motorcycle or what have you, comes his wife or his
ah,
girlfriend or his mom who
yeah.
says, you get that. So help me God, I will kill you. I will divorce you. If it doesn't kill you, I'll kill you.
Mm,
Right. And it's all of this anger. So no, it didn't belong to me. But
mm,
as an empath, like so many of y'all are, we pick up on other people's emotions.
mm,
And after years and years of having it just kind of stick to me, I was a mess. My gosh. I was
mm,
super extreme moods and finally just, like breaking down, going, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I'm crying. I don't know why I was so happy and then so mad. It's not like somebody said something that triggered me, but it's because I was holding on to so much that didn't belong to me. And once I started understanding everything is energy and that I actually have that power to release what doesn't belong to me, that negativity, the bad juju that just stuck to me. Oh my gosh, it was great because I finally felt like I was having control over my own emotions, my own thoughts, even.
I love that. I love that. So it sounds like the first thing we want to do is we want to recognize what are the energy blocks that maybe we don't even know we have. And the second one is we want to clear what doesn't belong to us and almost like, I don't know if it's the right word, but reset our energy field, right? Reset into kind of this very different place and space. Talk to me about that because we are going to be talking about a seventh dimensional angelic soul reset. How do they do that? How do they help us kind of reset and open new channels of possibility and abundance?
So we live mostly here in the 3D.
Mm,
And there are times that our higher self will come in and guide us or lead us. Think of times like during trauma
mhm,
or a death where maybe you're not in your right frame of mind, but somehow you're going through life and doing okay. So maybe your higher self comes in or your angels are guided. And when we go through this and when we are in the 7D, we're not just focused on the event that just happened. We're not just worried about, I'm a victim, this is what happened to me. We release and we surrender to this higher dimension
mm,
that's more about the unity and that consciousness where we can go in and karma, we can start balancing those karmic contracts, soul contracts, different lessons we have. And it's not just necessarily in this lifetime, but across other lifetimes. And that's where we really find that we can make some lasting changes. We can release or we can rewire, we can reset. Sometimes there are soul fragments that need to be retrieved, but we really go into what's just beyond us right now so that we can have some lasting, even almost like feels like life structural changes. Does
I
that
love
make
that. It does. It does. And I want to get to some questions, which we are going to do, everyone. So keep raising your hands. We're also going to be doing a technique called the light returns. So the angels can help clear your field. Are they some practices or some ways that they do that or that you use in some of your work to, and I think we may get into one of those today a little bit, but tell me about that. How do they work to kind of infuse that higher energy again, especially if someone's been feeling really pressed down, attacked, or maybe hopeless for a very long time?
Oh gosh, I was working with one of my readers the other day, and she had had it happen a couple of times where she kept feeling this level of oppression over her, and she couldn't figure out what it was. And when she came to me, she said, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I almost don't care. It's not necessarily hopelessness, but very definitely a feeling of almost why even try? Why bother?
Why bother? Yeah.
So, and so many of us can get to feel that way, or we get stuck, or maybe we just get in that, gosh, we go down a rabbit hole of thinking, and it can just kind of spiral out. So when I work with the angels and bring them in, there are times that the client will actually feel it. They will feel that warmth. They will feel like this a bunch of feathers, this softness, this comfort being enveloped around them in this unconditional love. And really, truly, they'll feel like not just understood and heard and seen, but they also feel this lift. They feel things change. They feel like there's been a shift. And it might feel very, very subtle, or it might be something that they feel really profoundly. But the cool thing is when, as the days go on, they start noticing the difference in other people and areas of their life. And that's really, really a blessing for them to be able to experience that.
So it sounds like that energy they just don't feel better with the energy. It starts to kind of go out, and then life gets easier, or life starts to flow, or things kind of, I don't want to say magically, but I would say like from above, they sort of begin to work out. Like you see little day-to-day miracles, right? Things, it sounds like that's what's happening.
Yeah, and you stop micromanaging your own emotions, focusing on the negative. You
Mm,
start to experience and go, oh, hey, that was really a cool thing happened. That was a really nice synchronicity, right?
wow.
And it opens them up to going, oh, there's another one. Whereas
Right.
before they might have been so close-minded and narrow focused on what's going on with them at that moment. Maybe they've been a victim and they
Yeah.
can't get out of that energy field. So when the angels go through and we start clearing some of the stuff, then it's like, oh, the sun really is shining. I hadn't seen that today. Oh, flowers are blooming. I didn't notice that before. But they start seeing opportunities. They start seeing positive things, and they begin to notice things that they might not have noticed before.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, I love that. I can feel that. Let me know, everyone, if you kind of feel that. I mean, this is not just, you all through evolution. This is, when we think about miracles, we think about, people connecting into the truth. It's like this is what they've all discovered throughout prophecy, is that there is a higher energy, there is God, there is this, organizing design that liberates us. And there's always some energy that wants us to believe it's not possible, to believe that everything has to go dark. Like this is an age old, paradox, right? Age old demons, modern times. Like it's just right here in front of us. So this is the time really to dive in and go into these higher energies if there ever was one. So it sounds like the first thing, we want to recognize what blocks we have. We want to clear them. We want to get a reset. But then I think we probably want to connect, right, Kourtney? We want to figure out, how do we stay in that energy? So what do you suggest to that? How do we integrate this so we're cleared continuously, or we're constantly feeling these higher energies, or constantly in this beautiful light that can come in when we're in that vibration?
You put your angels to work,
Oh,
and I cannot stress this enough. Ask Archangel Michael to continually clear you, so
mm,
that if there is something, as you as an empath don't realize you've picked up,
mm,
he can start removing this and keeping that clearing going, and grounding into Mother Earth like you did earlier. There's a beautiful way for you to start to feel balanced again. But your angels think of them as they're standing here in this huge unemployment line,
mm,
because we haven't called on them and we haven't put them to work, and we haven't said, show us where these opportunities are. Show us these decision points in my life where I get to choose. And it was really interesting. One of my good friends, she and I were talking, and something just kind of channeled through. And I went, what? Hold on. We have these choices.
Hmm.
And what came through was, when you make a choice, there is something in you that believes you will benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you smoke and you go, I know smoking is bad for me and it's going to cause cancer and it's bad, know that there is still a conscious or subconscious or superconscious belief that it benefits you in some way.
Right.
Sometimes it takes us going through and digging through and really trying to find out what is that belief so that we can change it, so that you can, on a conscious level, recognize it and understand it, so that your angels can say, see, that's that decision point. That's that choice point where you get to make that decision and go on your higher timeline, or you still keep doing things the hard way, like we
Yeah.
talked about. But getting your angels help in this, because they will start to show you and make it very apparent to you where you need to clear, where you need to make decisions, where you have a choice point, and even show you, hey, this is a soul contract. And you start to understand that they're there to help you to be able to see things that maybe our human self in the 3D can't see.
Absolutely. A lot of people believe like, oh, struggle and just this constant like thing is a part of life. And you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have seasons, where things go easier and then things get challenging. But if you're grinding out year after year after year after year and it's not getting better, and it's been 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 8 months, 2 years, 4 years, decade, that's not a part of life. There's something else there. Like I go through challenges and it's like, oh, this sucks. And then the next week it's a little better. And then the next week there's resolutions. Like it shouldn't take that long if you're aware of the energy. And we're going to be talking about that. And I want to take this to all of you so we can start to like really set some people free, or at least give them an idea what's going on or what could be on the other side. Kourtney, can we do that and take some callers?
Yes, please. Let's do. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. All right, I want to go to BK actually. BK wrote to us early on. So, BK, you're already unmuted. So, BK, you're ready. If you want to turn on your camera, that's fine too. But how's it going, BK?
Hey, I'm good. I'm gonna be even better.
Love it. All right. Well, what can we do for you? You wrote in about abundance, I think, in clients, perhaps, right?
Yeah. I'm a trained psychologist, coach, intuitive, and struggling with feeling worthy, with getting clients. So,
Yeah. Okay. BK, do me a favor. If you don't mind, tell me, what is your chronological age right now?
I'm 46 years old.
And where are you geographically?
Say that again?
Where are you
I'm in
geographically?
Switzerland. I'm in Geneva, Switzerland.
Okay. It's really interesting. As soon as I tune into you, now you said maybe it's a feeling of self-worth. There is, I want you to know you've got a great clear channel. You're doing really well keeping that aligned and that clear. So my hat's off to you for that. But one of the things that comes in is there is this energy around you. There is this emotion, and tell me if this makes sense, that almost if you are doing too well, that there is a fear that other people, possibly even a male masculine energy in your family, who says kind of like, well, who do you think you are? You're not that special. You're not that great. Or don't get all uppity. Does that resonate at all for you?
Yeah, it's making me teary.
Oh, baby, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry, but know that's a visceral reaction when that truth comes out. So you're kicking butt and taking names. Know that we've identified it. And we know that that belief is something that we can change. And knowing that now you're consciously aware of it, whenever you start to feel it, you'll be able to go, whoa, hold on. Who do I need approval from? Who am I really doing this for?
Hmm.
Is that helpful?
It is. I'm wondering, I feel very undeserving, and because it's so easy for me to channel, like it's easier than anything else. Like I just see, I get information. I almost feel like I have to make it hard, and I'm not worthy of such, some part of me feels shame because it's easy, and I don't, does that make sense?
Yes. And it is something so common with my clients that we see that they've been told work hard, right? And every parent wants to tell their kid, work hard, do a good job, right? And you'll be rewarded. But yeah, when your gifts come a little bit easier to you, then are you doing it wrong? Is that not the way you're supposed to be doing it? But truly, when I go into that, I mean, shabam, it was like the first thing they showed me. You're clear, beautiful. And if you can even start to think about honoring the gift of your channeling that you use when you're with your clients, that way you can brag on the gift and it won't be yourself.
Good.
And that's going to start elevating your degree, let's say it like that, where it becomes easy, like your gift, and it becomes second nature. And know that those two will start to intertwine quite easily.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, BK. We're going to jump now. We got a lot of people with their hands raised. We're going to go to Eliza. Eliza, and let's see if she can unmute there. Elizah. Eliza, what's your big question today for Kourtney? And if we can't get to Eliza, we'll go to someone else. Let's see here. All right. Eliza going once, going twice. I'm sending her an unmute request, but sometimes they're not able to unmute. So we're going to go to Tess, Tess. Tess, what's going on with you? Can you unmute? Okay. So we're jammed up here. A lot of hands raised. All right. Let's see here what's going on. Eliza. Okay. I'm going to go to Janet. JanetCobian. Janet, what's your big question today?
I don't even know.
You don't know? Okay. Well, think of one. What's going on, or what is a reason you came on the call today? What's a question?
Um, Lately I haven't been happy at work, even though I love what I do. And I'm just lost there with work and what I do and what's my next step.
So you're looking for your next step, maybe from work or maybe beyond work, or like your
Yes.
true purpose kind of thing. Okay. That's totally understandable.
Hey, Janet, but how old are you and where are you geographically? Because I've got about 4 of your energies across this map. So tell me where you are and how old you are.
I am 44 and I'm in LA, close to LA, California.
Okay. And your question around work. Okay. So would it make sense if I said that part of this is because you're genuinely happy and you're not seeing that with some of your coworkers, and your angels are telling me that that makes you, okay, talk about taking on energy that's not yours. You take that on a little bit and there's a part of you that wants to make them happy, and knowing that you can't, or you're not responsible for that, makes you feel like you're not doing everything correctly. Does that resonate?
Yes.
Okay. So when I'm going into this and asking, Archangel Michael, one of the things that he's saying is around movement, but it's not movement change jobs. This is movement around your perception and what is your role there at your quote unquote job. You enjoy the work, but really this is about part of those soul contracts, okay, that are coming through, and being able to reach out to them. So one of the things we can do, if you and I were to get on a call, we could go even name by name with people at work and see what your soul contracts are with them. And we could say, okay, here's what you're going to be learning with them. Here's how you're helping this person. And you might say, oh my gosh, I even thought about doing that. But for you to enjoy your work even more is about you taking the energy and the focus off you making everyone happy. That's kind of the long and short of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. All right. Since we're going kind of fast, thank you so much. I want to now go to Margarita B. I can see you on the video, so I thought it'd be fun to chat with you, and you're right in front of me. So, Margarita, how's it going? I'm going to pin.
Thank you. I've wanted to connect with Kourtney many
Okay.
years.
Could you get just a little closer so it'll come in a little louder, everyone can hear? And then I've pinned you. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
That's okay. Yes, thank you.
Sure. So what's going on?
So you want to know what? Yeah. So this is a bit vulnerable, but quite a few years ago, you know, when COVID was going on and all that stuff, and I just didn't want to be on the planet anymore. And so I was just saying, like, I'm just gonna end my life. And then I guess my angels or my higher self said, "Don't you dare, because a great new love is coming." And so I want to know when that's gonna be, because it's been quite a few years.
Fantastic. Margarita, tell me again how old you are and where you are.
I'm 63 and I'm outside of Toronto, Canada.
63. Do you have an anti-aging company that you could share what you're doing?
Right?
Love you.
And send it to me. Darius,
Yeah, we'll take it. Give it. Come on. We'll buy whatever you got. We'll buy. That's awesome.
Okay, so Margarita, this is kind of a twofold thing, okay? Know that this great love is, yes, regarding a soulmate, okay? But know that this other great love is also about you. And you, I don't want to say this to sound cheesy or hokey, but almost like falling in love with yourself, falling in love with your life again, and really experiencing that joy. Five, hold on, five, that was 20. Ooh, oh, okay, so this is your year. So when they give me numbers, it's usually a timeline, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years. When I tuned into it and felt into that, your angels are showing 5 years from when this message came through, which realistically could be right about now. But this is really about you saying, look at what I have to offer, look what I bring to the table, and really falling in love with yourself, your life again. Because once that part is acknowledged, the romance is almost going to be a whirlwind. And well, I want you to know, he's not geographically far from you. They are showing a masculine energy. I'm assuming this to be a male. Is that what you're looking for?
Margarita, did she freeze? Oh, okay.
Oh, I said yes.
Courtney, okay. No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Just making sure.
Yeah.
But what I love about this, do we already have the dog? I keep seeing a dog between you and this man. So do you already have the dog?
No, but that's what I saw. I saw him with a black dog.
Oh my gosh.
We're there. We're like this.
Oh, this is getting good.
So I keep seeing y'all doing things and like y'all are laughing and y'all are having so much fun and laughing that you're not paying enough attention to the dog. So the dog is jumping up and it's just, there is a vitality in this, really and truly. And know that you are a living, walking, breathing embodiment of this youthful vitality. And give yourself permission to really experience that again and to do the fun and to do the, I don't want to say wild and crazy because that can be interpreted, but give yourself permission to just enjoy in your life, enjoy yourself, and give yourself that freedom.
Bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I ask a follow-up, Margarita, for you?
Yes.
Okay. Do they have any guidance, suggestions, tips, like where, when, what, you know, like her really being in her element, really being in her vibration? I think allows these things to come in. So is there any indication as to what like she may want to be doing, thinking, um, taking part in, different things that they're seeing she should be kind of getting involved in her community? Do you get anything like that?
For sure, being outside.
Okay.
And it's interesting because in this scene that I see you and him, it looks like y'all are really close to the water. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is probably a lake, a beach, something like that. So very much outside. And you know, you've got this really admirable trait in you, Margarita. You appreciate beauty. And you don't have to have someone say, "Oh, look at that sunset," for you to go, "Oh, that's beautiful." You are there and in it, and you appreciate that. So know that that part of you wants to be expressed more, that appreciation, that gratitude, that enjoyment. And remember, somebody said something about their shadow side or that shadowy part of themselves. Know that if that shadow side of you that comes up and says, "I don't deserve to be happy," we're going to go tell it to take a back seat. Okay. And your angels can help you with that, because you do deserve to be happy and you are naturally a joyful person. And so when I see you on this picture, I want you to know that you're wearing shorts and a short sleeve shirt. He has on like a light jacket, what I call a windbreaker. So that lets me know that it's going to be relatively warm. Now, my warm is 90 degrees or more. You may be warm at, 60. So know that that's what I'm seeing you wearing. And so that could very easily even happen within, the next few weeks.
Nice. Well, I got shorts on right now. Maybe I'll go down to the water.
That's right. Get out and in that energy, be in that vibration. All I know is, Kourtney, you told me, she was going to be not in Houston and in Austin, Round Rock. So, I mean, I just kind of started getting in that direction, moving my energy into that geography, into that place of constantly, moving in that space. So they know where you need to be. So this is great. Well, thank you, Margarita. We're glad you're here, and you got a lot to look forward to. I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been years I wanted to talk to her, so right
Oh.
timing, I guess, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, how great. Awesome. Well, I love it when cool things happen. So here's what we're going to do. We've got another cool thing that's going to happen. Well, actually, 3 more, because we are going to take some more questions through the chat. I'm not going to leave people hanging. We're going to do some rapid fire towards the end, so stay to the very end. But one of the things that we talked about is bringing in a little light, bringing in a little bit of that levity and a little bit of that energy without all the heaviness that we all need to be able to really just begin to feel a different set of possibilities. And Kourtney, you call this the light return technique. Tell us what we're going to do, and if y'all are ready and Kourtney's ready, I guess we could slowly get into it, right, Kourtney?
Yeah. So when we think about the light, know that this can come from many different areas. It doesn't just have to be the sun or the light or even within. Now, we want to take advantage of all of our resources, and especially because I'm an angel lady, we're going to even call in our angels to help us to bring in this light, to feel it, to embody it, to go into it, and to feel it all around us, and even blow it up and make it bigger. So yeah, we're going to be bringing in this light to experience. And actually what some of y'all are going to notice is when I see y'all energetically about up to here, there are some of you that are like, this is good, this is great, wonderful, but there's still something going on from, let's say, here up. And that is stuff that whenever we do this bringing in the light, it actually just kind of can shake it off. Almost like, Mother Earth, Gaia, shaking like this and getting something off of her and it going into, a big wave or something. Now, this is not destructive. This is going to be extremely positive, and I feel like all of y'all are going to really like this.
All right, awesome. Well, everyone, please, I don't see anyone driving in the video, but I can't tell because there's a lot of people on. So don't be driving your car. And Kourtney, when you're ready, let's take it away.
Great. So if you'll do me a favor, if y'all will uncross your arms and legs, that's going to allow the energy to flow easier. get comfortable, whether it's lying down or sitting up, and just close your eyes and relax. You're going to take 2 or 3 breaths comfortably, and know that as you do this, you're clearing your energy of your space, of your mind, of yourself, so that you're giving yourself permission to feel, to sense, to know, but to experience this difference. So as you're sitting here right now, I want you to notice if there's any part of your body that has tension or pain, and just make a mental note of it. You can send breath to it, but this is how you feel sitting here. Good. And I want you now to put your focus on your heart area. And if you'd like to put your hand up on your heart, that'll help get you out of your head so that you can really focus on that energy in the heart center. And as you put your energy there, I want you to imagine or sense or see your heart with each beat growing bigger, gently expanding and opening very safely. And as you notice this heart opening, you begin to recognize your angels, your guides, the archangels around you. You may feel a chill or an all-over tingling. Yes. And you invite them in. You may sense them getting closer. You may even start to feel with their energy connecting with your heart energy, a rhythmic sway. Very gentle. Maybe it's side to side. Maybe it makes you kind of go in a circle. But very easy as you are now attuning to their vibration with your heart, opening to the love. And in your heart, you now experience and feel appreciation, gratitude, joy, love. And as you recognize that you are safe and you are surrounded by nothing but loving angels who want nothing but the best for you, you allow your heart to open even wider. And we ask the angels to even bring